Hello, hello, welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Today I am talking about tip number 21 from Aletha Solter's book, Raising Drug-Free Kids. I'm T, your joyful parent guide and harmonizer, and if you're listening to the replay, we're going to try something different today. Type hashtag EASE. EASE. That will be terrific, just to let me know that you listened. Thank you for that. So this is a great tip. All right, be patient with temper tantrums for your toddler, for anybody, but we're talking about toddlers in this chapter. Now, even if we follow to a T the last couple of tips, which have been allow your child to say no, and then elicit cooperation through non-authoritarian methods, there are going to be some temper tantrums. It's natural. I don't know about for you, but for me, I have temper tantrums too. They look different from when I was 2, but I still have them. I still have a need to get energy out. And so these little toddlers between 1 and 3 have a need to get energy out. And part of the challenge is that we are on a schedule. We have a lot of things going on in our lives, and we can feel very much like, okay, this kid is doing this at exactly the wrong moment. He or she, he must be doing this to manipulate me, or she must be doing this to mess with me. That must be what's going on. And then we can get easily frustrated. If that's the reason, then of course we're going to get very frustrated, and we're going to try to stop them and, maybe shout at them, get frustrated, and that's going to make things worse. So a couple things here. They are never trying to manipulate us. They don't have the development in their brain that would be necessary for them to try to manipulate us. Okay, so that's not true. If that helps you, please hang on to that. I know that that helped me. Now, even if we recognize that they don't have a mean bone in their body, they're tantruming, it can still be quite a challenge. So there are a couple of things that are in the book too that I want to share with you, and that is that it's actually a very good thing. Like, there have been scientific studies that have shown that it's great for toddlers to get this negative energy out of, whether it's kind of in the mind space or in their body, get it out. So it's actually quite a good thing for them to do this. There could be different reasons for it. Before we get to some of those reasons, the best way for us to approach it, it might look different, child to child, moment to moment, but the best overall approach for us to take is an approach that says to the child, maybe not in words, okay, but the approach says to the child, I love you absolutely enough to stay with you through this. Our bond is much stronger than this tantrum. Okay, that is a very, very important thing. So if we can bring that energy, I sometimes tell the story about one of my sons having a meltdown in, I think it was Kohl's, although it could have been Target, and he was like really, really melting down and wanted nothing to do with me though. So like me being like, oh sweetie, I love you, was making it worse. So what I did was I made sure I mean, he was not 1, okay? I don't know how old quite he was, maybe 3 or 4. He was on the older side of toddler preschool, but I made sure he couldn't see me, but I was close by. And he was tantruming, and I let him get it all out. And there were some people that were looking at him And they were like, where's the mom? You know, where's the crazy mother who left her kid? And I would like wave to them so they would see me, so that they knew that I saw him and I knew, and he was safe, whether or not they agreed with my methods, whatever. But it didn't last long. And then he looked up like he was looking for me, and then I was right there. So that may not be how you decide to handle it, but that's the energy, is I am right here for you. I am not going to make things worse for you, and I'm letting you get your energy out. Now, why do they tantrum? There could be many different reasons, and we don't know, because they're not going to be able to tell us. But if they have potentially had a bad day, had an upset recently, if we as the parents are holding some extra tension, if we're having a bad day, right, that can affect their energy too. Another thing could be if there's some big change happening in the household, whether that is a divorce or a marriage or a new baby, whatever, a big change that's going to greatly affect the household, that can bring some stress into a toddler's world that they just need to get out. And so what I would like to, also another thing before I go to my favorite part here is, and this is huge, I didn't think of this when I read the book. I was like, this is amazing, I have to share this with you. Tantrums, like a higher frequency of tantrums, more tantrums, can happen right before a developmental milestone, like walking, like talking, like I don't know what. Those are the main ones, right, for the toddler age. So that totally makes sense to me, right? Before, as I am working towards something, I'm typically in, maybe more of an uncertain space, working some things out. And if I don't have the means to really communicate, I would get frustrated too, and maybe need to like get some extra energy out, go for a walk or a run or whatever I do. But for them, they have limited choices. So a tantrum, whatever that looks like for the particular child, is really what they tend to do. So I want to give you another way to look at tantrums. And this actually, this kind of goes for whether your kid is 2 months old, 2 years old, 12 years old, 20 years old. The tantrum will look different, but this is a great way. This is a great perspective. Especially, it doesn't matter, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, it doesn't matter. It's a great perspective. But I find it generally happens more with moms, is you are the safest space for your child. And so anytime they're under stress and they're holding it all together anywhere else in their world, and there's like one thing that happens in your presence where you say something, and it's like sort of like the straw that breaks the camel's back, we can take that, and often we take that as, oh my gosh, your brother just did this and it was all fine, and I come along and I say this little thing and then you lose it. Of course, we wouldn't say that to a toddler, right? But to an older child. We can take it like that. We can take it personally. Or we can take it that, wow, I really am the safe space. I am the one that can give them, I'm the first one that they look to for that opening where they can vent some of that negative energy, where they have permission, even though it's not really, we didn't really give them permission, where they feel safe enough to release some of that ugliness, because we're mom, right? Should be safe to do a little bit of that in front of mom. And if it's not, then that can be really traumatic for them. right? Because wow, if I'm too much for mom, then maybe I need to start packing all of this ugliness inside, and I need to start stuffing it down, right? And so that's not something that is going to be healthy for them in the long term. And I don't think any parent would consciously choose that. But I want to bring that to light, that if we can reframe that and accept some of that, and accept that, wow, by holding space for this ugliness, by holding space for this, we are actually giving them an opportunity to vent some of that negative emotion and not create a pattern of holding that in. How many of us created patterns like that? Of holding something in, holding something back because we were told that we were too much, too loud, too needy, too this, too that. A lot of us. And our parents had the best intentions, but we're in a different time and space. And so this is what I wanted to share with you today. So I hope that that serves you. Very interested in any comments that you have. Again, if you are listening to the replay, it's hashtag ease, EASE, and also that is the name of the masterclass I'm going to be delivering in less than a couple weeks in the Facebook group. So I'll post that if you would like to join us for that. I would love to have you. The Path of Ease free masterclass in the Relational Parents Facebook group. All right, I look forward to seeing you very soon, I hope. Much love. Bye for now.